Hello guys, welcome to my channel. Today we're gonna discuss about factorial, that how the algorithm for factorial works out. Like in the last video I discussed about a recursive algorithm, and factorial is a type of recursive algorithm, so we're gonna discuss about it. Now firstly let's define what is factorial. This is the notation for factorial, and let's mathematically define it. What does it mean? So like calculating factorial of any number x where x is greater than or equal to 0, that is x is a natural number, x belongs to natural number. So how we can calculate this? We will be doing x into x minus 1, x minus 2 up till we get to 1. So this is called factorial of this number, that is x. Okay, this is how factorial is defined. Now let's say let's why we say that we can calculate this number, factorial of any number, by recursion. So any factorial x can be calculated by calculating x into factorial of x minus 1, which in turn can be calculated by x into x minus 1 into x factorial of x minus 2, which in turn can be calculated as x into x minus 1, x minus 2 factorial of x minus 3. So in this way we can see that at each step, first, second, third, fourth, we have some factorial, and we are decreasing this value, whatever factorial is calculating, by 1 at each step. So we can clearly see that there is some counter which is controlling the factorial function. So that's how we realize that we can do this by using the recursion algorithm. So let's write the recursive algorithm for calculating the factorials. Recursive algorithm for calculating factorial. So the procedure for this will be, what are the inputs? Input says any number, say x. This is a where x is conditioned that x is greater than or equal to 0, which we can just simply say that it's a natural number. Whatever the output will be a number, which of course will be a natural number. This is it, and now let's write the steps for doing this. So the number one step in this procedure is, if our x is equal to 0, then what we will say, then return 1. Now what does this mean? That at the initial at the start of the algorithm, we are defining a base value. In any recursive algorithm, we need a base value, something in the base. Okay, if x is equal to 0, then we return 1. Return means that we stop executing the next steps in our algorithm and we just exit from the algorithm. Like if we are doing here, this is our main program, we are executing it, first step, second step, third step, fourth step, and at fourth step, suppose at this step we call factorial of 1, whatever, it will return 1 and then proceed to next step. Okay, now if it's not equal to 0, then otherwise what we will do, we will be returning x times recursive factorial of x minus 1. So what does this mean? This means that if x is equal to 0, then we will return 1. If it's not, then what we will return? We will return x into x minus 1. So this is the first step. At the end, let's deep dive into it. Let's deep dive into this algorithm. So if we start with x, we execute it one time, we will get this value. We again, recursive means we again start from here. Input will be x minus 1. X minus 1 is not 0, then it will go here, then it will give us this value, and so on up till we get x into x minus 1, x minus 2 up to 1. So it will be executing a number of times, say x times, to give us the exact value. So how does this work? It start with x kind of loop. It start with factorial x kind of loop, x minus 1, again start x minus 1, how we can represent this in just one picture kind of thing. So basically what it do, start with factorial of x, loop around x into factorial of x minus 1, again go back x minus 1 factorial x minus 2, again loop x minus 1 x minus 2 factorial of x minus 3, again go back. So in this way, this algorithm loops until here we get, until at the end, after number of cycles, we get x minus 1, x minus 2 up till 1. So then it will, when our value becomes 1, then it will reach the base pair and exit from this loop and return this as a whole value. So this is how factorial algorithm, this is how recursive algorithm works in the case of calculating the factorial of any number. So that's it for this video. If you find this video useful, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you.